Hey guys, how's it going? This is Aaron Farrell here, and in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how you can actually connect ChatGPT up with Zapier, and specifically how we can leverage ChatGPT to basically send over a message directly from the interface over to our Slack channel. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the video and go through the walkthrough here. So first and foremost, what you're going to want to do once you have a ChatGPT subscription, meaning that you're paying $20 a month, basically you'll have an option on the left hand side to explore GPTs. So first you'll want to click there. Next you'll want to hit the create button. And in here, we're actually going to want to select create, and this will help us actually build the bot or the GPT in general. So I'm going to tell it I want to create a witty and funny bot that can roast my business partner, Nick. You need to understand that he is a COO of our company and also a digital nomad who likes to travel often. Also know that he speaks Spanish, Portuguese, and English. So I'm just going to leave it at that, and also maybe add your job is to create one-liners and send them directly to our Slack channel set up to roast people. Right, go ahead and hit enter there, and we'll give it a minute here. And what it will do is it will actually generate a name for the GPT. So this will all be done automatically based on the input that we just gave it. And that just takes it a minute to come up with. So it says we're going to call it Roast Master Nick. Does that sound good to me? Yes, sounds great. And then next, what it's going to do is actually generate a profile photo for the GPT. So that's all automated. You don't even have to worry about that. All right, we've got a pretty cool image of a Joker with the roast word. And yes, I like it. Let's keep it. All right, so then you can also continue to create through this method, but you can speed through it a bit more if you go over to the configure tab, and then basically we can see the instructions that it automatically generated, but we're going to need to add a bit of our own stuff. So first I'm going to uncheck DALL-E just because I'm not going to be using any image generation, but we will need the web browser to be enabled here. And then the next thing we're going to want to do is basically copy this link over here from Zapier, which I'll actually link in the description. So you don't have to do any sort of code or anything like that, but you just hit create new action and then import from URL, and then we'll just paste that link right there, hit import, and then that's going to load up all this code here for us. So the next step here, once we've got this, is just hit the back arrow, and then we're going to want to head over to Zapier, and they've got a pre-built rule here in terms of a couple different actions. So I'm just going to copy this, but of course you can write your own rules specifically. So paste that there, and we're not going to be doing the Google Calendar, so I'm going to delete that. But under this required actions, one of the big important things is going to be linking it up with the Zapier actions. So that's where you're going to want to go to this actions.zapier.com/GPT/actions, which again I'll link in the description below for you. and then we'll hit add new action. And from here, you've got a ton of different actions that you can actually execute from this, but for this particular tutorial, I'm just going to have it send a message directly through Slack. So I'm going to type in Slack here, then I'm going to say send channel message, and then select my Slack account, which is already selected here, and then the channel, I'm going to select a specific channel that I've set up. Oops, called Zapier Roast. Alright, so that's set up there, and for the rest of these I can just leave them as default, but I will want to go to show all options, and then on the action name I'm just going to say Slack-roast, which just makes it easier to actually find or call out. Then I'm going to hit enable action, and once I've done that, I just need to head back over to Slack, or to ChatGPT rather, and in this action I'm going to type in Slack-roast. That's right. Okay, so I've added the Slack roast action. This configuration link is more so just a link, people, if you had a public action, but doesn't really matter what's there. I'm just going to leave that as is. And then from there, I want to also make sure I click down here on the additional settings and uncheck use conversational data in your GPT, because that's going to actually send the information over that I'm typing in the GPT, and I want to make sure that it doesn't send that information, so it's always good to uncheck that. And then we'll just hit create, and we'll say only me on this GPT, because it is linked directly to my Slack, so I don't want to share it out with the world, but obviously could. Now, once you're loaded up here, you're going to have some quick conversations that you can just click on, and it will basically create. But with that being said, you can also type in context here as well. You can attach files, do anything you could do normally with a typical GPT, but this is specifically programmed for your information and for the link directly with your Zapier. Now I'm just going to click one of these. Joke about Nick's typical day as a COO. Alright, so it says Nick's day as a COO is like a bad coded website, constantly refreshing until something finally works. And like his internet connection, his decision-making speed really depends on the weather, which isn't too far from the truth in terms of internet speed, because him and I both are traveling around a lot, and depending on where you're at, you could really have some issues even when it is raining outside or things of that nature. So that is kind of funny, but then it's going to say, would you like to send the roast to the Slack channel, or do you want another joke first? So I'm going to say go ahead and send it to the Slack channel, please. Hit enter. Be nice to AI, you never know, down the line. All right, we'll hit confirm on this. It's talking to Zapier right now. All right, so now it's saying the roast about Nick's typical day has been successfully sent to the Slack channel. So if I open up my Slack here, I can see right here, we've got Zapier, and that message that we just talked about is actually sent over. For some reason, it did mess up the text here. Not sure why that is specifically, but you get the point. Essentially, you can start off inside of Zapier or GPT, and basically send information to these other platforms, whether that's Slack, whether that's Google Calendar, so on and so forth. But the main thing is actually installing that script right here, and then pointing the actions or connecting the actions to the different applications that you want. And then last but not least, going into the configuration and making sure that we link those actions in the background, so that way it knows basically what to call. So with that being said, hopefully this has been useful for you. I might actually do a follow-up tutorial on this where I actually create an assistant, which is really cool because then you can call it from other apps, or you can have it execute from other apps without having to manually go into ChatGPT. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and shoot me a like, hit the subscribe button, comment below what you think about this tutorial or where you would like to go with it next. Hopefully it's been valuable for you and you've learned a lot, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.